Well, I bet everybody was not expecting to see me here today, but we've got three tornado warnings ongoing right now in Virginia here for some rotating supercells capable of producing tornadoes. If you are in Martinsville, Virginia, Henry, Virginia, Philpott, Virginia, or in Axton, Virginia, you need to seek shelter immediately on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and in an interior room. Again, these are dangerous storms that could produce a tornado at any minute. We were not expecting to see this today, but unfortunately, things have taken a turn for a worse here. We had a general thunderstorm risk in place. This means that we were not expecting to see any sort of severe weather at all, let alone a serious tornado threat, but that is what has ended up happening. We have had some devastating, catastrophic flash flooding with dozens of, even hundreds of flash flood emergencies across parts of the southeast over the past several days. Things are starting to finally wind down, but we still have a flash flood emergency in effect for the northwest side of Charlotte, North Carolina. We've had so many dam failures here over the southeastern United States over the past few days. It's been devastating. We still have millions without power here. You can see the exact track where Helene went through that knocked out power everywhere. But anyway, again, three tornado warnings now for portions of Virginia. I hope you guys are excited for this stream here. Again, I really was not planning on doing anything this weekend. This is going to be a break, but apparently the weather had other plans. So here we are again. Tornado warnings in effect from Martinsville, Henry, Franklin, and Pittsylvania counties in Virginia. So we're going to watch these storms here over the next little while to see how these progress. But what's up, Gooseman? Again, we've got ourselves an unexpected live stream here this afternoon for sure. Again, I really didn't. I would have bet money genuinely that I was not going to go live today, but here we are again with a triple tornado warning. These are three different rotating supercells that have just popped up over the past 5 minutes or so, with rotation here, that is. So again, we're going to continue to watch this over the last little bit, but anyway. So how's everybody doing? Yeah, I saw that the Rocky Mountain, North Carolina tornado was an EF3. That's obviously a huge deal. Again, that was a devastating tornado. Or was that in Virginia? Maybe that was in Virginia. For some reason, I was thinking it was North Carolina, but there's a Rocky Mountain, Virginia there. That's North Carolina, though, isn't it? I believe the Rocky Mountain tornado was. Yeah, it was in North Carolina, so. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for another storm with rotation here right along the North Carolina-Virginia state line. What's up, Cy? What's up, Indiana? This is for Buffalo. If you're in this area, make sure you're moving indoors immediately. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and a possible tornado could be associated with that severe thunderstorm there. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we've got an emergency surprise live stream for today. We are, again, expecting a couple of tornadoes here to be a possibility over the next several minutes, as we do have three tornado warnings in effect for parts of Virginia and North Carolina here. Again, some of these little baby supercells are actually quite impressive, especially the one heading for Martinsville I would look out for. But yeah, I saw the massive debris signature that it had. That thing was crazy. But I am actually planning on making a documentary on Helene once everything is said and done, because again, this is quite literally a historic hurricane. Again, the strongest hurricane all year. Actually, Gooseman, the toll is up to 70 or more people at this point, so again, a devastating hurricane, to say the least. Again, this is one that's going to go down in the history books. It left millions without power, caused numerous dam failures. We were talking, again, we've had dozens of flash flood emergencies, which, you know, even in significant hurricane situations, we usually only see one or two. We've had dozens, close to 100. We saw damaging winds all the way into the Midwest. I got footage here from some damaging winds from the remnants of Helene. Ripped off shingles. We got some branches down, some large branches down, knocked out power for some people. It was pretty interesting. I really doubt they're going to add a 2% tornado risk, Indiana, because it's really just these few supercells here that have managed to kick off far enough. We'll see if they do, but again, I just don't think it's quite as likely. I think that these, again, were super unexpected, obviously, but I doubt that we're going to see these last for much longer here. So we'll hope not, but it's a possibility. It is. So we'll keep watching this. I am a little bit sick right now. I'm not, like, dying sick, but if I sound, like, nasally or something, or if I'm talking really fast, it's because I'm trying to prevent myself from talking too slow, because I've been considerably out of energy today. Will the name be retired? I sure as heck hope so. They haven't really officially announced, well, whether it will or not be yet, but I think it's gotta be. I mean, again, this was one of the most historic hurricanes of all time. Brought, you know, over 15 feet of storm surge. It killed over 70 people, brought insane flooding, extreme damaging winds, especially like Georgia and South Carolina, actually. So I would really hope that they retire the name Helen, but they haven't said officially. I don't believe whether they're going to yet or not. But yeah, let's try to get hashtag retire Helen trending on Twitter. That'd honestly be pretty interesting. Because I was the first person to tweet hashtag retire hell, and there's been one more person that's tweeted it since then. So it's not necessarily a topic that a lot of people are asking for, but I think they should be. Will these tornado warnings reach Roanoke? I really don't think so. Roanoke is, yeah, so Roanoke's a little bit further to the north, I believe. Why can I not see? Oh, it's right there. So yeah, these tornado warning storms here are just to the south of Roanoke, so probably not. Again, they're heading east. We'll watch out for the Roanoke area because we could see some more supercells pop up south of that area. Any supercells that develop in this area could be a problem for Roanoke, and we do have a few of those, so we'll watch out for Roanoke, but for right now, Roanoke is fine. Again, we've still got some significant power outage numbers in Roanoke, actually, but that's besides the point. So, anyway. So, again, this Martinsville storm here looks to be the most intense out of all of our rotating cells right now. Again, a lot of these don't have, like, insane rotation or anything. It's just enough kind of for them to issue tornado warnings. Let's hope that's not a debris signature there. We may have a developing tornado near Martinsville. That looks pretty concerning. I'm not super convinced, but that could be a debris signature, so we'll see. Yeah, we could have a brief tornado, definitely, Gooseman. Again, that's why we went live here. That's why they're issuing these warnings, so we'll see. Again, it's definitely a possibility, though. Again, we honestly could have a tornado on the ground near Grassy Creek right now. That looks like a potential very light debris signature. We'll kind of confirm or deny here on the next scan or so. But I believe we have a tornado here near Martinsville. So, we'll see. Again, right near Grassy Creek is where that tornado would be right now. Again, if you're on any of these tornado warnings, you need to seek shelter immediately. So, alrighty. And we'll see if they tornado warn the storm in North Carolina. Again, it looks to have just about as much rotation as some of our northern ones that are tornado warned, so we'll see. What's up, Levi? Good to see you back here again. Again, if you're just not tuning in, I do want to be a meteorologist. That'd be pretty awesome. But again, if you're just not tuning in, we have a potential tornado on the ground near Grassy Creek, North Carolina, or excuse me, Grassy Creek, Virginia. It's hard to tell at the moment whether that is a debris signature or not, but it definitely could be. Again, this is kind of a hilly region of Virginia. We're down kind of into the Appalachian zone here. So again, we'll see what these cells do. There are several thousand people that live in Martinsville, though, I imagine. So we'll continue to watch this here over the next several minutes. As it continues to push closer and closer to the city limits here. I imagine it's getting dangerously close. And this is quite unexpected. So. What's the drawing tool? It's just on the Radar Omega app. If you have Radar Omega, you can use it. There's a little pencil tool. You can barely see it because some of the text covers it up, but there's a little pencil tool at the bottom of your screen that you can see there. Just click on that. You also want to be a meteorologist? Cool. So, looks like that could have been a brief tornado, but there's no confirmation. Again, potentially a very light debris signature, but we can't know for sure. So we're not going to confirm or deny anything quite yet. So again, we still got some supercells here entering Virginia from the North Carolina-Virginia state line, capable of producing tornadoes. We'll continue to watch this all over the next little while here. Again, I was not expecting to go live at all this weekend, but again, I'm a little sick right now, so if I sound kind of rough, that's why. But it's alright. It happens. Again, it's kind of starting to get into the time of year where we're entering flu season. Yay. I don't have the flu, but so, some rotation getting a little bit stronger near Oak Level, Virginia. Again, this was originally our strongest area of rotation, but now it's kind of weakening out a little bit. It's still showing maybe a little signature there, so we'll continue to see what happens over the next little bit here. Got a lot of aspiring meteorologists in the chat. That's pretty cool. Again, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe. We are covering tornado warnings, surprise tornado warnings across parts of southern Virginia today, down in the Appalachian Mountains. So, it's going to be a pretty active stream here. Again, it's not going to be very long, though. but we're going to see if any of these do produce a brief tornado again. And there's a question whether or not we had a brief tornado near Grassy Creek, Virginia, but we can't confirm it, so we'll see. We'll see as more information comes out from that. But yeah, I mean, I literally just opened up radar. I saw there were 3 tornado warnings, and I was like, crap, I need to go live. Because again, even the Storm Prediction Center didn't even have a marginal risk out today for the East Coast. I believe they discussed doing it again. It was a very, very close call because we knew that we were going to have some showers and thunderstorms out in parts of the Virginias, and a few of them could become strong to severe. But again, they did not end up issuing that marginal risk, but it looks like they definitely could have done so, maybe for like this area here, the Roanoke region, but especially areas off to the east of Roanoke, kind of in between Roanoke and Richmond. So, anyway. Alrighty. Yeah, make sure to like the stream. This is going to be a pretty brief stream again, but we should see how many likes we can get on it, just for fun. Gonna help this push this further into the algorithm here so that more people can get this vital information. You know, a lot of people in this area just dealt with the impacts from Helene, and they're thinking they're done, you know, it's over, but we've still got a few tornado warnings out here, unrelated to Helene, but alright, see you, Levi. Thank you for tuning in. But, again, a few little baby supercells managed to pop up here and start rotating, so we'll see what happens, but anyway. So, they did keep the general thunderstorm risk. They did not issue a marginal risk. They actually issued it they issued it way too early. I think that's because they didn't think they were going to have to issue anything, but maybe they should have waited a little bit to see how these storms are going to perform, but it's okay. Do you think there will be more tornado warnings than these today? Also, do you manually... I do manually put them up. Sometimes it gets annoying having to do it midstream, but, yeah. Do I think there will be any more tornado warnings today? Yes, but probably just extensions for these same storms. So, say these tornado warnings expire, they'll have to issue new ones, right? All of these expire in 9 minutes, and these storms are still rotating a little bit, so they'll probably issue new ones for these. And then again, maybe for a couple of new supercells, again, a little bit further to the west, they may issue some tornado warnings, so we'll see. Alrighty. So again, the town of Martinsville about to get in on this tornado warning storm here. Rotation weakening significantly, I'll admit, but we'll continue to watch it here over the next couple of minutes. And I'm actually, at this point, I'm most concerned about our storm near Buffalo, North Carolina. I think they should definitely tornado warn that. It's got a pretty good supercellular shape there. Some typical supercell features. It has the tornado possible tag already, but it does not have a tornado warning yet, so we'll see if they issue one for that. But, anyway. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, we're probably going to be continuing the break here for a while. Again, other than this one random day of streaming, because there's just been no activity, no new developments that show anything significant for the future here anytime soon. Really at all. We're kind of at that point of year where it's weird. We're past hurricane season. We're before winter storm season. We are past severe weather season. The most notable thing is wildfire season. So they did issue a new tornado warning now for Ridgeway and Spencer in Virginia. So if you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. This is going out for Price, North Carolina as well. So northwestern Rockingham County and southwestern Henry County in parts of Virginia and North Carolina. So seek shelter immediately in those areas on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows and in an interior room. That is getting even stronger, is becoming even stronger rotation there, so we'll see what happens with that, but it looks pretty concerning as of right now, honestly. Alrighty. So, let's keep watching this here. I will say, the Lynchburg area, if we have any viewers watching from Lynchburg, I know that's a pretty big city here in Southern Virginia. I do think that some of these supercells could track into the Lynchburg region, so we'll have to see if you get in on any of those tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. Right now, it's not looking likely because these storms are honestly losing some steam. But again, we've still got some, especially the newest one that just got tornado warning popping up behind it, becoming quite strong. And again, they are heading in the general Lynchburg vicinity, so we'll see. Again, we'll just go ahead and issue a Davis Does Weather tornado watch since the Storm Prediction Center is definitely not going to. We'll issue a little mini tornado watch here. Very small tornado watch going out for parts of Virginia. If you're in this blue circle here, this is the Davis Does Weather tornado watch between now and, say, 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern. A few supercells capable of producing tornadoes and damaging wind gusts could be possible over the next couple of hours. So if you're in this area, look out. So again, that definitely includes Lynchburg, Roanoke, Rocky Mount, South Boston, Danville, Alta Vista, Timberlake, parts of Highways 221 and 29, as well as Highway 15 and 228. Again, not a super populated area, but still. What's up, Alan? So, this newest velocity scan here just now about to come out. Again, we'll see if this rotation is still this concerning here in just a minute. But unfortunately, again, this reflectivity presentation is looking pretty strong there. So we'll see what happens. And we got a hook echo indicative of inflow going into this storm. So, again, definitely have rotation there without a shadow of a doubt. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning. Again, that is getting quite strong, actually, so we'll see what happens. As that approaches Highway 220, let's check the CC real quick. No definitive debris signature. Yeah, make sure to like the stream if you're just now tuning in. Just for fun, we're seeing how many likes we can get the stream. This is not a debris signature, that's just some weird contamination on the CC. But that could definitely trip some folks up. Again, that almost does look like a debris signature if it was just a few miles further to the north. But it's, again, no confirmation that we have a tornado on the ground. I'll tell you what, though, even if it does touch down, there's not a lot for it to pick up out here, so we may not see a definitive debris signature. Yeah, this is Appalachia, guys. It's not like there's a ton of people living out here. There's not a ton of homes or buildings or businesses. Again, right now, if this is on the ground, it's crossing the Mayo River. It's a water spout right now if it's on the ground. This is going to be heading up towards Price and Ridgeway over the next several minutes, so seek shelter in those areas. Alright, so they did cancel the tornado warning here for our far western cell. Again, this one was stronger much earlier, so it lost some steam and they went ahead and canceled that tornado warning, but still left with 3 here, so obviously we're going to keep streaming. This is just as many as we started with. So, oops. Alright, and there we go. So they just extended the tornado warning for the Martinsville supercell. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately. Pretty much includes the same areas that already had a tornado warning, but if your emergency alert's going off again on your phone, this is why. There's another tornado warning. It's just an extension. There's no new information. It's just that one tornado warning was about to expire, so they went ahead and continued it. I'm not even going to update the warning counter, because the one behind it's going to expire here any minute anyway. So, we have a new reflectivity scan, again, still showing that clear hook echo there with our storm approaching Price in North Carolina. Again, seek shelter immediately. Still some decently strong rotation there. Again, you need to get your tornado safe spot on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and away from windows in an interior room ASAP. So, anyway. So everybody that's here, if you have not already, let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we've got people from Roanoke, but where else do we have people watching from? So I know what areas that we need to cover. Again, we're mainly just going to be focused on these tornado warnings, honestly, though, because there's really nothing else going on across the country. Again, the most impressive thing right now across the country is the wildfire danger. We've got a critical risk for wildfires, a double critical risk across parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, South, and North Dakota today for wildfires. And then tomorrow, we've got ourselves another critical risk for wildfires for parts of Nebraska and South Dakota. And then we already have a day 3 critical risk as well for portions of Nebraska, Colorado, and South Dakota. So we'll see. They may put a mesoscale discussion out. Again, I was thinking about that. I definitely don't think they're going to issue a tornado watch or anything, but they may put out a brief mesoscale. We'll see. Again, the reason they didn't issue the 2% is because they issued the outlook way too early. They should have waited until 3 p.m. because then they would have seen this and maybe reconsidered issuing a 2%. By the way, don't let it surprise you guys whenever we get a new tornado warning for this storm. This warning expires in 1 minute, and it's definitely going to get rewarned, so... if you're in Soapstone, prepare to get your safe spot, because you may be included in that new warning, actually, so we'll see. It's getting right now entirely honed in on the North Carolina-Virginia state line here. Again, really just watching these 3 supercells. Again, I'll keep a brief eye here on our one near Henry. Again, that was originally a tornado warning. It still has some decent rotation over Highway 220. I'm a little surprised they canceled the warning, but kept the one for the Martinsville storm going. But it may just be because that does have a little bit more of a significant population. But this is riding right over a highway. Again, we'll see if this drops the tornado. Again, I don't think that's a debris signature or anything, but looks a little fishy. Actually, we're going to see a new velocity scan here. That may be a tornado on the ground near Fork Mountain. So they did not reissue the tornado warning for the Axton storm. Wow. Alright, so we're down to 2. 2 tornado warnings in effect currently. Again, both of them being right along the North Carolina-Virginia state line here. I think I don't know. Again, that's not definitive enough, but we may have had a brief tornado in between radar scans there. And there's just some weak debris fallout left from it. And it's so hard to tell if a couple of these have briefly touched down for a second or not, which is, again, why everybody in these warnings needs to be taking this seriously and getting to their safe spot, because it's a little tricky to know if these are going to touch down because they're going to be so weak that they're not going to be lofting much debris. It's also a really rural area, so they're not going to loft debris. We may be seeing a velocity couplet handoff here with our storm, by the way, in North Carolina, about to cross into Virginia near Price. So this may push a little further to the east than we originally thought. So again, that would put Ridgeway right in the track of this, actually, which is not good because that's our biggest city in this warning. It's not really much of a city, but our biggest town. So, anyway. Are these storms related to the moisture brought up from the hurricane? Somewhat, yes. Oh, my goodness. So, another tornado warning now. They decided to reissue the warning now for this storm, rather than earlier. I don't know why it took them so long, but Axton, Soapstone, Leatherwood, Sandy River, and Hinesville gets your safe spot, and we have another tornado warning for the storm that was originally tornado warned, for Fork Mountain and Sidnersville. So seek shelter immediately in that one as well. That puts us up to 4. Is that a little satellite next to the main rotation? Hold on. I don't know why these warnings are just coming out left, right, and center like that. Again, they waited a second to issue the reissue this warning for the Axton area. Maybe they were thinking about it, but we'll get a new velocity scan here in a second, so we'll see what happens with that. Steven, if you're talking about this storm down here in North Carolina, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe this was going to do a handoff, but it looks like it's just weakening significantly, so. And it could still definitely produce some damaging winds, so look out for that. But, anyway. And I'm almost more concerned about our Fork Mountain storm now than anything else. I'll have to watch out for that. all of these are like developing little baby hook geckos, that bean shape to them. All right. This is a live look from Charlotte, North Carolina, from the Bank of America Stadium. I didn't realize there was a game going on right now. I've never seen this stadium this packed. Holy crap. What is it about a hurricane that makes people want to go out and watch a baseball game? They just want to feel free again. They want to feel alive. Anyway. I've never actually looked at that camera while there's a game going on, so it's pretty interesting. Anyway. And this storm is kind of heading on a downward trend, the one right along the North Carolina-Virginia state line. This is our most concerning storm for a little bit, but it's quickly dying out, I'd say. So let's see what happens with this little bean over here near Meadows of Dan. It could be trying to rotate. However, at this time, it doesn't look like it's doing much, so. Anyway. Again, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to like and subscribe, as it helps push this stream further out into the algorithm so more people that need this information can get it. Again, because nobody was expecting this today, so this is a big surprise. But yeah, usually NATOcast sometimes has like scarily accurate predictions for events like this. They'll like put out a crazy tornado risk whenever the SPC says nothing. Not even NATOcast is doing it this time around. So again, there was really nothing out in the atmosphere that should have been making these storms rotate this much. But here you go, I guess. Again, not very tall storms, to say the least. And these really can't even produce lightning. They're just so surface-based thunderstorms here. And we were talking about storms that can produce tornadoes, but can't produce lightning. That's crazy. Again, we have not seen any strikes here according to the radar Omega map from these yet, so we'll see, but... Alright. Again, that storm near Meadows of Dan, Virginia, looks to be starting to rotate a little bit. I was actually in one of those. They spilled into Illinois, and I got issued into one of them. I didn't see any landspouts. But that's not to say that there wasn't any. Unfortunately, I was driving out of town literally as that warning got issued, so I wasn't able to really check up on the storms, but... Again, this, couple of these little thunder showers here are starting to rotate in southwest Virginia. Aside from our tornado warned ones, obviously. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a storm like this or two pop up in West Virginia either. Definitely can't rule it out. Looks like we have a line of storms producing gusty winds just east of Charleston at this point. And that's pushing northeastward, so it's starting to intensify as it approaches Clay and Clendenin. as well as Interstate 79 there, so we'll see what happens with that. But, anyway. Not a lot of hail with these storms. The highest we're getting up to is 60 dBZs. 61 dBZs, I guess. So maybe some isolated penny to quarter sized hail, but nothing crazy. It may just be because we're super close to the radar site. Sometimes you can't see the hail quite as well whenever that happens, but we're not really looking at much in the hail threat here, so anyway. So, again, the storm riding Highway 220 looks to be the most concerning one at this point, the one heading for Cindersville. The street may be a little longer than I thought it was going to be. We're going to try and go until there's no more tornado warnings. Again, though, I'm not feeling the best, so just keep in mind if I end up leaving early, that's why. Tornado warning continues for Martinsville and Collinsville, Virginia. Again, at this point, Martinsville is fine. We'll see. You may have to watch out for this next thunderstorm here, but right now you're fine. Again, not much to say other than that, though. Waiting for this next scan here. Should be any minute now. Any second, even. So, new scan here. Yes, I did see that Isaac briefly went Category 2. At this point, though, I don't know how it is still labeled as a hurricane. That is ridiculous. If you've looked at the infrared satellite imagery, you can see it is just not it right now. It is so unimpressive and insignificant. It is literally just a couple of thunderstorms at this point. If I bring this up on your screen, oh, never mind, they're not even showing it anymore in Tropical Tidbits. But it's nothing at this point. Coca-Cola just exploded on you, dang. None of these storms are super impressive at this point, honestly. New tornado warning has been issued for Martinsville and Ridgeway, Virginia. It's an extension here for our storm on the North Carolina-Virginia state line. Not looking super impressive at this point, though. Don't use Mentos and Coca-Cola with your friends. Yeah, no, I mean, it got pretty intense for a little bit, Gooseman, but at this point, it's done. And this is going to go up towards Iceland and Ireland and all the Linds. So. That's not true. Beryl, Helene, I think Francine, too, was stronger. And also Ernesto. Ernesto was much stronger. Alrighty. Ernesto had way more, though. Did Ernesto ever actually go Cat 3? I don't know if it did, but it definitely got to 110 sustained. So it would be, number 1's obviously Beryl. 2 would be Helene. 3 would be Ernesto. 4 would be Isaac. And then 5 would be Francine. And then probably Debbie. I think that's all the hurricanes we've had this year, so yeah, it would have to be Debbie. So, anyway, I think we're ending off this live stream here, because, again, I'm not feeling too great, but I want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, I was not expecting to have to go live at all, so this was a bit of a surprise, but, again, thank you for joining me, everybody that did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.